Today I'm going for our first run in the Mizuno Wave Rider 23 Peachtree edition. 11.86 miles, 8 minutes, 25 seconds per mile, 137 beats per minute today. Going for a run in a pair of Mizunos for the first time in about a decade, believe it or not. And today I ran in the Mizuno Wave Rider 23, the Peachtree edition. Now before I get into my thoughts on this shoe after just this first run, I do want to go over some disclosures. This is a pair of shoes that Mizuno sent to me along with some other Peachtree specific Mizuno apparel, like this shirt that I've got on today and the singlet that you saw me running in that running footage. But they're not paying me to make this video, and they're not gonna get a chance to preview any of my footage or my thoughts for you guys to get a chance to see this video on YouTube. Now, the disclosures out of the way, let's talk about the Mizuno Wave Rider 23. Now, the reason why it's this red, white, and blue color and why all the kit is the red, white, and blue with the stars and stripes is because the Peachtree is an annual 10K event. It's in its 51st year. It's put on by the Atlanta Track Club on the 4th of July every single year, hence the 4th of July being America's Independence Day. And to go with that, there's a lot of patriotic touches all throughout the shoe. So we've got a red striped upper that's a relatively breathable material. We've got a Peachtree tag on the tongue. I think it's like almost like a suede type material, and a similar material on this little mini tiny little pull tab on the back here. Also, what we have on the aglets is on one side it is stars, and the other side it is red and white stripes. So patriotic through and through, from the midsole to the upper and even to the outsole itself. Also very faint, but on the heel cup on the outer edge there's a 51 indicating the 51st running of the Peachtree. Now unfortunately, as far as I understand, the Peachtree will not be running on 4th of July. It is currently, as of June 14th, the filming of this video, is slated to be run as a Thanksgiving race. There's another race that the Atlanta Track Club puts on around Thanksgiving, and instead of running that event, they're gonna run the Peachtree at the Thanksgiving time period. And so there still will be, at least as of now, a 51st running of it, but this is the first year that it's not gonna happen on Independence Day in Atlanta. And so this just might be the year, with everything going on, where we've got lots of shoes that are specific towards a certain race, and then those races just end up not getting run. The Boston 9 being another one, where the Adidas Adizero Boston is specifically made for the Boston Marathon in 2020 this year, and there isn't going to be a 2020 Boston Marathon. Getting back to the Wave Rider 23, what do we have in here? We've got a hodgepodge of different acronyms and technologies. We've got Euphoric in terms of the majority of the midsole here. You've got Euphoric X, which is a little bit of a softer compound for a little bit more comfort when you're landing. You've got X10 outsole in terms of the rubber that's out here. There's a ton of rubber. There's so much of it, and it's super thick, especially in the back. In the heel here, it is astonishing how much rubber is on this. This thing is going to last forever if that's something that you're looking for. But I think the most distinguishing feature of it in the Wave Rider is the wave plate technology that's in here. You could see it on the side. It's a wave plate made out of Pebax, which is a material that's used in other shoes, but more mainly as a softer material, but it can also be a stronger, stiffer plastic that serves a plate type function. It starts in the back, and it also comes down into the bottom here, melding into what looks like a little bit of a torsion plate, and you can feel that plastic right underneath the heel itself. So what all this stuff is intended to do is ensure smooth transition from the heel to the forefoot. And in terms of that transition from heel to forefoot, you've got 12 millimeters of heel drop in a 9.6 ounce package. This material that's on the heel cup, it is very padded and almost shiny, kind of like a superhero's outfit, which I actually kind of like, at least for this design or this edition of the shoe. But I do feel like it is certainly a heavier shoe. The other thing that's very notable about this shoe for me is like, it looks like with the way that there's this kind of like opaque overlay in the back here, that the heel cup is relatively small. But that's not the case. The heel cup is extremely stiff and much bigger than what it kind of might look like from some of these overlays that are here. And what that all does with the 12 millimeter heel drop, the wave plate, the really firm heel cup, and the way that this is just all set up is that this part of the shoe just seems like an immovable object. It really locks you in. The prevailing theory is that excess movement in the ankle is really inefficient and can even lead to injury. And so the solution to that, or the remedy for that, is to make it so that it's really hard for there to be any movement at all in the ankle. And that's definitely what I'm feeling in here. I feel like when you're in here, it's almost like this back half of the shoe is like a ski boot in a sense. But then for some reason, the transition is still relatively smooth to get to the front. So it was a little bit of a surprise. Based on how I felt back here, I was like, this is going to be really just clunky, back and forth, back and forth. The transition was relatively smooth. But ultimately, I think that I'm going to need a couple more miles to really give a sense of whether I like this shoe or not. Because I spent most of my time today just kind of getting used to the shoe. I can't say that it's good or bad right out of the box. I spent a lot of time just realizing that it's very different than all the shoes that I've been running in over the last several months. And so there's different things that I'm trying to get accustomed to. There's a different feel when you land in the heel. There's a different feel as you're hitting the forefoot. I think that there's some break-in that's going to be required for a shoe like this one. So I felt like today that in the right kind of midfoot right here, that I just wasn't getting enough cushion, and I felt like I was getting pain here. I didn't feel it in the left foot, so I'm wondering if that's just a break-in issue, something that with me getting accustomed to the way that this shoe is set up, maybe it's that 12-inch heel drop. I'm not sure if that's what it is. Maybe it's the rigidity of the ankle that is causing my foot to hit a certain way. I'm not sure if that's what it is either. I tried to kind of figure out what the shoe really wants me to do. I found that it wanted me to have shorter strides and a quicker turnover, which both of those things are pretty good things, I think. So I'm not necessarily disagreeing with what the shoe's doing. It's just very different than what I'm used to. Now, before I go, I do want to go over some of the other stuff that was in the kit that Mizuno sent to me. So you saw the singlet, you're looking at the t-shirt, which I think is super comfortable, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of wear out of it. They also sent me 2 pairs of shorts. One is and I think the thing that unifies them too, although they're very different, is that I haven't worn shorts like either of these in probably about 20 years. So the first pair of shorts is the pair of shorts that I'm wearing right now. It is a 10-inch short. That's right, a 10-inch short. They come all the way up to the knee, and they are super comfortable, and it just reminds me of like my college days, because that was the style that was popular at the time. So I'm actually wearing them right now. These are the shorts in all their glory. Blue on one side, red on the other. So I'm super excited about them. I actually really enjoy them. They've been very comfortable to wear around here while I'm with my family in Iowa for the summer. The other pair of shorts that they sent for me was another kind of short that's on the opposite side of the length spectrum, a pair of 2-inch shorts. And here they are, also in red, white, and blue glory. These shorts are just so tiny. I mean, they're so small, the liner is poking through, like when I hold the shorts up. So like, that's how small these shorts are. And I haven't worn a 2-inch short basically since I ran track in high school and for that little bit in college. So it was back in like 1997, 1998. So it's been a long time. I modeled these shorts for my family, and they thought it was pretty funny. And it definitely reminds me of why I don't wear 2-inch shorts anymore. I don't want to be ungrateful for the gift that Mizuno sent. So I think let's do it this way. Normally, let's see. So a video I did last week was the Boston 9s versus the Hyperion Tempo. That video, as of the time of filming, got 350 likes. If we can get this video to 500 likes within the first week, I will, in honor of the Peachtree race that never was, run a 10K time trial in the Mizuno Wave Rider 23 in full Stars and Stripes kit, including these 2-inch shorts. So if you want to see that, hit that like button. Or you don't have to hit the like button if you just are, if you don't want to see that, that'll be fine too. But if you want to see that, hit the like button and we'll see if we can do a 10K time trial. So that should be pretty fun. I haven't done a time trial in a really long time. So especially not a 10K time trial. I don't think I've ever done a 10K time trial before. So could be a lot of fun. All right. That's all I have for today, everybody. Thanks so much for making it all the way to the end of the video. Hope you guys are staying safe out there on your runs, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yo, what's going on?